What would happen if you fuse a sunflower with another sunflower? You will get a twin sunflower. This fusion has the ability to generate 50 suns every 20 seconds, which makes you think this plant is pretty useful. However, in PvZ fusion, this fusion is actually pretty useless. And that's because if you play the adventure mode in Are You Sure difficulty, all the zombies have 4 times the HP of a regular zombie. Plus, you will be fighting 4 times the amount of zombies that you would normally fight. So, by the time you end up making your symmetrical row of twin sunflowers, you're most likely gonna have a gang of zombies waiting to get some snacks. This is the reason why I had to start the first level of my adventure mode by fusing a sunflower with a pea shooter, creating a solar shooter. This fusion deals 50% more damage than a regular pea shooter, and it also helps produce more solar energy by dropping 5 suns every 3 shots. This may not sound very useful at first, but since every wave you will be confronting double the amount of zombies, a large amount of solar shooters are required. So I kept spamming these plus a few Gatling peas in the front until I finally managed to defeat Larry in the first level of the adventure mode. However, things are just gonna get ugly from now on. That's because in the second level we meet Cone Larry. Normally I wouldn't worry about this zombie, but in this difficulty a single solar shooter is not enough to take Cone Larry down, and since we don't have time to create a second row of solar shooters before the second wave arrives, I have no option but to create 2 new fusions. One is made by fusing a sunflower and a cherry bomb, therefore creating a solar bomb. This fusion's ability is to create an explosion that will create 25 suns for every zombie eliminated. This fusion can not only help you get out of dangerous situations, but it also buys you enough time for you to be able to fuse a repeater and a cherry bomb, therefore making a cherry repeater. This fusion has the ability to shoot pieces of cherries that will deal twice as much damage of a regular pea shooter. However, this one has the special ability to upgrade itself after 25 seconds, first becoming a split cherry followed by a Gatling cherry. However, these new fusions only managed to hold the absurd amount of zombies until the final wave, where I lost 4 of my 5 lawn mowers and where I was barely able to defeat Cone Larry thanks to the solar bomb. And by looking at that shiny trophy, I thought I was safe. However, this was just a taste of how hard this challenge was gonna be, because that's when I met Larry the Bucket Zombie. This guy is so strong that not even a solar bomb explosion is able to make him fall. However, we do have a new plant that might help us stop him for a few seconds, Mr. Walnut. By fusing this one with a sunflower, you can create a solar nut. This fusion not only gives you time to set up your defense, but you will also be creating extra suns every time a zombie takes a bite. But this strategy also has his downsides. See, in regular difficulty it will take a zombie 40 seconds to eat a walnut. In Are You Sure difficulty, this time goes down to 10 seconds. Plus, with 4 times the amount of zombies, this fusion just kept getting devoured in seconds. However, the overproduction of suns plus this fusion called Peanut somehow helped me to get to the final wave, where by making few solar bombs and a big bowling walnut, I finally defeat Bucket Larry. And wait, what is that sound coming from the street? Do you hear it? Oh god, it's Larry Goggins. Level 4 was next, and by looking at this formation, I realized that in this level, I was not gonna have to deal with Bucket Larry anymore. So I thought that by just using the glove to stop Larry Goggins from running will make this level easier. But a few seconds passed, and this is how my lawn was looking. Larry was about to get my first lawnmower. A second wave of zombies were eating my plants, and a third wave of Larry Goggins were rapidly making their way to my house, until they eventually made it. The amount of zombies in this level was just insane. Every wave was looking like one of those scenes from The Walking Dead where the zombies are running after the main character after they enter an abandoned place. So in order to beat this level, I either came up with a new strategy or my challenge was over. And after several tries with no results, I stopped for a second and analyzed my situation. My problem was a large amount of zombies at the same time, so I needed a plant that would target multiple zombies at the same time. So by fusing a pea shooter and a walnut, I created this fella called Peanut. See, Peanut doesn't just have the same HP of a walnut, but it also shoots tiny nuts that deal damage on all the zombies on the lawn. So by using Peanut and solar bombs, I was targeting multiple zombies at the same time, which at the end it ended up being the perfect strategy, since this setup somehow managed to take me to the final final wave without losing a single lawnmower. So let me be clear, all I gotta do is keep using the same strategy over and over until I beat all the day levels, right? Wrong, because in PvZ Fusion, in almost every level you get a new zombie, and level 5 was not the exception, since here we have to deal with pea shooter Larry. This zombie shoots peas that can badly hurt your plants. However, this one doesn't affect small plants like the potato mine. That's why I had to fuse a potato mine and a cherry bomb, therefore creating a mine bomb. When a zombie eats this fusion, it creates a potato mine around it, and if there are any compatible plants around it, these will automatically get fused. So by spamming this fusion plus a couple of peanuts and cherry shooters in the back, I easily got to this level, which was by far the easiest level of the challenge. Man, I just wish I could say the same about level 6 and 7. In level 6, the new challenge was this blue guy called Diamond Box Larry, a zombie that has the same HP as 3 Gargantuars combined. Now multiply that times 4 and you have a zombie that is unbeatable, which means that the only way you can get rid of this zombie is by using Shumper. That's because Shumper doesn't care about a zombie's health. So in this level, I based my whole strategy on creating fusions like the Shump Nut, which is made by fusing a Shumper and a walnut, or another fusion that is pretty useful when you have 100 zombies coming your way, Cherry Shumper, which is made by fusing a Shumper and a cherry bomb. So I kept making these two fusions until I eventually beat level 6. And oh god, the transition on difficulty from level 6 to level 7 was just insane. That's because even though you do get a new plant, you will also have to face this guy, the cherry shooter zombie. This zombie can turn a nice and beautiful defense into ashes in seconds, which is exactly what happened in this level. This zombie made this level impossible, so I had to quit the challenge. I mean, for a couple hours. But when I came back, I knew exactly what to do, and the answer was fusing a walnut with the cherry bomb, therefore creating a cherry nut. That's because this chunky fella has the ability to absorb cherry bomb explosions. So as long as I could stop the diamond box zombie from eating this fusion, I was gonna be alright. Plus, since I also got the zombie gift box, I could turn all the Gatling piece into any of the Gatling piece variations with just one box, which not only helped me stop Cherry Shooter Larry, but also defeat level 7. And oh god, what is that? 4 new zombies in one level? And no new plant? Oh god, this is gonna be hell. Well, that's what I thought. But even though all these new zombies either had infinite health or extra damage, they did have a big disadvantage, and that is that when a bucket zombie is defeated, they drop a bucket, which you can fuse with plants like the pea shooter, making it more powerful, or even better, a walnut, which gains twice as much health. So all I had to do was to keep making these to defend and let the Gatling army to finish the job, which they did. So now it's time to put all my knowledge together because it was time for the final challenge. Level 9, a level where we meet with all the new zombies, a level with 3 big waves, a level with hundreds of zombies coming at the same time. This was gonna be the level that would decide if we are worthy to advance to the 9 levels. So before I show you how this level went, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you like the video so far, please use the hype button in the comments so this video can get recommended to more people. And with that said, the challenge began. First try, lower defense breached by a cherry shooter. Second try, I couldn't handle the absurd amount of diamond zombies coming at the same time. So for the third try, I focused on building a strong attack in the back using Gatling piece fusions early on the game. Doing this meant that I had to sacrifice some fusion in the middle, but this sacrifice was worth it because mid through the level, when the cherry shooter zombie started to appear, I was halfway done with my attack, and I had all my focus on creating cherry nut fusions to avoid getting my defense breach. And when it came down to the diamond box zombies, I had to be very careful with them. So every time one of them would appear, I would instantly use Shumper to get rid of them. This would prevent zombies to get accumulated behind this zombie, which at the end of the day made my strategy go as I planned, which helped me beat the final level of the adventure mode during the day. If this video gets 1000 likes, we're coming back with part 2.